Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Sedona Psychics podcast here in Sedona, Arizona. I am still continuing our Meet the Reader section for our podcast. Today, I have the one and only Wynterwolf. Say hi, Wynter.
Hi.
So, Wynterwolf is the owner of Crystal Magic Psychic Center here in Sedona. And on top of that, she's also my mommy. So she's the one who taught me all the things that I know, on top of the things that I did myself too. So, anyways, how you doing today, Mom?
I'm awesome.
Awesome. Before we dive in, what's the energy like for you coming into this conversation?
High vibe.
High vibes.
High vibe.
Nothing but high vibes, guys. High
High vibe.
vibes. So for the first little segment of questions I have for you, we're going to be talking about your spiritual path and your journey, and kind of how you got onto this path. So can you share a little bit about your spiritual journey? How did this path first begin for you?
Well, first and foremost, your spiritual journey is always ongoing. You're always learning, growing. But as a child, I had gifts, and then as I got older, I explored them myself, and it's continued. Yeah.
So you pretty much had a lot of these gifts as a child,
Yeah.
and all of that. And kind of as time went on, you started dabbling with the gifts and seeing
Yeah.
what they were capable of.
Yeah.
Was there a moment on your path when you realized this was more than just an interest, it was more of a calling?
Yes. As I dove deeper into it, through my own practices, through meditation, through ritual, self-discovery, I kept hearing, how can I be of service? So yeah, it became more.
Yeah, just kind of getting those
Mhm.
messages from your guides or
Right.
yourself of how can I share my gifts with the world? On your path, who or what were some of your biggest influences or teachers?
Oh, there's so many. Well, my own personal spiritual team for sure. They showed me a lot. I would always go within and did a lot of work within. Over the years, I have read some books. Back in the day, there was Sylvia Brown. She had a couple books that I would look into, and I'd be like, "Yeah, this is real," or "Oh my God, this is really happening." Because when you first start, it's so surreal.
Right.
That you're like, "Am I making this up?"
Yeah, you almost go
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. You're like, "No, you're not." So there's many, but for the most part, self-taught.
Okay. All right. I like it. I like it. See, guys, you have the opportunities to be your own teachers as well, and to, get in touch with your spirit guides and be able to work with them. They can give you messages and things like that along the way for you as well. And again, you're not crazy. You're not making it up. We promise. Uh, were there any challenges you faced early on in your path? And if you did, how did you move through them?
By not giving up, for sure. Trusting your intuition. That was my biggest thing. Trust. Lose the fear of the unknown, the fear of what am I stepping into? That
If you could go back and talk to your younger self at the beginning of this journey, what would you say to middle Winter?
I would say, I love you.
And trust yourself.
Yeah.
Trust yourself. 'Cause that's all part of the journey, babies. So for this second little segment of questions I'm going to be asking you about your specialties and your style of reading and the types of modalities that you use in your readings as well. What modalities right now in your spiritual career do you specialize in right now?
Tarot is my main tool I use. So I use tarot, oracle, once in a while a pendulum. And I have a coin that says yes or no, and that's always fun to play with. Is it yes or no? But for the most part, it's tarot. And then I just allow to whatever come in. So whether if I'm hearing it clear audiently or claircognitely, it just comes in. I just trust. So yeah.
Okay. How would you describe your reading style in your own words?
Free flowing.
Yeah. Would you say they're kind of honest too? Kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
blunt?
Very blunt, very honest, but in a good way.
Right.
So yeah, and very flowy. They just flow in that moment.
Right. Trust the process, guys. So this is kind of like a second question on top of that one I just asked. What makes your sessions unique compared to other readers?
Well, I dance to my own drum.
Mm-hmm.
I am who I am. You get what you get.
Yeah.
And I don't consider myself to others. So
Right. People just come to you because
Mhm.
they need to come to you, and you
Right.
trust that.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Is there a type of client or question you feel especially called to help with?
No. Spirit's always taught me, consider that person who sits down, you'll know what you need to know in that moment.
Okay.
So every client is unique and different in their own way.
I can agree with that. I agree. What kind of energy do you hope people feel when they leave a session with you?
I hope they feel grounded in their own energy. They have some clarity, some answers, and an excitement in their life. Hey, what's next? What am I stepping into? That's, you know,
So excited for the future
yeah.
and grounded in themselves for
Yeah.
that. Okay. All right. So this next little segment of questions is what can a client expect in a session with you? So first, I want to ask you, for someone who's never had a reading before, what can they expect when they sit down with you?
Well, first and foremost, I'm going to explain how I do my reading to them to make them comfortable.
Uh-huh.
So I'll explain to them that cards are my tool. I say a blessing always before each reading because I'm old school.
Hmm.
Um, I make them feel comfortable, and sometimes if I have to, I'll allow them to take a few deep breaths before the reading just to relax.
And kind of ground in
Yeah,
it.
and I really expect them to have fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What does a typical session look like from the first moment to the end? Now, I know you said you do a little prayer at the beginning for
Hmm.
the client and things like that. What can they kind of expect after that?
Just a flow of flows. A lot of clients that sit in front of me, some have no questions or they're too afraid to ask questions. So this is where I take the lead and make them feel comfortable. And then, so I don't need questions. So I'll just lay my cards out and just allow the whatever energy come through and start speaking. And then 9 times out of 10, within 10, 15 minutes throughout the session, they'll start asking questions.
Right.
So it kind of just flows.
And that kind of seems like a theme with a lot of the readers that I've
Mhm.
interviewed. Like for the people who don't have questions in the very
Right.
beginning, we'll just start kind of tapping into the energy. And as we start bringing things up that need to come up, then the questions start to roll in.
Right.
And it's almost kind of the same thing with mediumship because you do mediumship as well, correct?
Yeah.
So even with mediumship, I feel they can have somebody in mind,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
Or we can just kind of say, this is who's coming in for you, or this is who almost came in with you too.
Right. Right. Sometimes they walk in with them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. What role do you believe the clients play in their own healing or insight?
So first and foremost, it's important for them to own it, to own that there was an issue, or there's something that's not working in my life and I need to make it better.
Hmm.
So they have to be accountable for themselves.
Right. I
And then
agree.
and then once that occurs and they're ready to let all that old energy go, then they're stepping into that new path that they need to on.
Right. Right.
So yeah.
What would you say to someone who feels nervous or unsure about booking their first reading of a psychic?
Okay, well, not to dish anybody. I always say, it's not like you see on TV.
Right.
It's not always that way. It's not scary,
Hmm.
you know?
Or very grandeur.
Right.
Too.
It's not
Yeah.
scary. So, because a lot of people come in very anxious, and I understand that. But again, once I explain to them what I do, that you can tell there's ease and
Hmm.
they relax.
I agree. And tarot cards aren't bad, really. They're just a tool. That's all they are. Even the death card, the tower card, the devil card. If anything, in my experiences, it almost calls you out, right? It'll
Right.
call you out on the things that maybe you don't want to face or the things that you don't want to see. It's a way for us to kind of break through that and help you move forward
Yeah.
with it. Yeah. So guys, it's not scary. We promise. How do you keep your work grounded, ethical, and supportive for clients?
It's just a daily balance. It's something I've been doing for so long that it just comes natural now. Before I start any session, I always ground my energy. I call on my team, do my little invocation, and gratitude. Gratitude's the biggest thing. So it's a practice, but it's simple practice. It's not hard.
Right.
So I have my little things I say and do to set the day, the mood, the energy.
Hmm. You keep things very simple,
Mhm.
grounded, but also to the point
Right.
as well. So even for the people who don't understand, you can really explain it in a way to help them
Right.
understand. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to be going into some wisdom and advice that you have for our listeners. And this is where it starts to get fun. So what advice would you give someone who is going through a confusing or uncertain time in their life? Right.
And what the situation was.
Right. But in
Um,
general, what would be something typical you would tell somebody, or what advice would you give them?
Go have a margarita. Really, I'm gonna tell you, so the best secret to all that is to be in the present moment, to be in the now. Shut off the money. Because a lot of people are using blah 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 blah. Be in the present moment. This is where you have your clarity. This is where the path opens in front of you. This is where your answers are answered. So it's important to be in this present moment and be grounded.
Yeah. So go walk outside and hug a tree, guys.
I'm walking the grass.
Yeah, walk in the grass, go walk outside barefoot. What's one spiritual practice you personally use to stay balanced on a daily basis?
Really being in gratitude.
Okay.
And then, and exactly what I spoke earlier, being the present moment, that keeps me very balanced.
Okay. I like it. I like it. What is something you wish more people understood about psychic or intuitive work?
That it's here to assist you on your path, it's here to give you the tools and to empower you as a human being
Hmm.
so you can grow.
So it's a tool, guys, not something scary. Here's one of my favorite ones too. What message do you feel the collective really needs to hear right now?
Well, I would say like being your own energy, listening to other people, trust yourself, trust yourself.
Trust yourself and be authentic. Authenticity always wins. What does trusting your intuition really mean to you?
Oh, that's a good one. And this is something I know when people first start out, they have a hard time. And it's really about, it means trusting that first thought, first feeling, and never faltering. That's how I would do that.
Yeah, I agree. Now we're getting into some of the fun and personal stuff. What's one thing most people don't know about you? Do you have a favorite crystal, tool, or a ritual you like to do right now?
Well, I like to dance naked under the moonlight. I'm just, uh, I have a lot of like invocations I like to say, so there's really not one in specific. Uh, Tools for sure. Like I love selenite, quartz, tourmaline, all those. I use a lot of tools to assist me. So I really don't have one.
Okay. You have many.
Yeah,
You have a whole toolbox full.
yeah.
Yeah. If your spiritual work had a theme song, what would it be?
Drops to Jupiter.
Ooh, by Train. Oh, I like it.
Mhm.
I like it. And honest, every time I hear that song, I think about you. Just growing up, like we would listen to what Train, Three Doors Down,
Mhm.
Matchbox 20, Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah,
Anytime that comes across my playlist, I'm like, I reminisce.
yeah. Awesome.
So, what lights you up outside of spiritual work?
My peace. I know that sounds pretty boring, but it's true. My peace and my joy, my family, the small things in life.
Hmm.
Yeah,
The little things.
yeah.
Oh, I love that. Well, we are coming towards the end of our segment here. Is there anything else you'd like the listeners to know about you or your sessions or anything else?
I feel like if you're interested in any of our readers at Crystal Magic Psychic Center, please look us up, look online. And I feel like if you're drawn to me, that pay attention to that and book with me. That's simple.
Yes.
That's
Wow.
simple.
And what intention would you like to leave our listeners with today?
Follow your heart. Listen to what your soul's trying to tell you. Slow down just a little bit to go within and listen to those messages.
Right.
Don't ignore them.
Because they're going to keep coming up.
Yeah.
It's going to get to the point where you can't ignore them. So I agree. I love it. Good info, Mom. Good info. Well, thank you so much, Wynterwolf / Mom, for sharing your journey and your wisdom with us today. And honestly, thank you for following your dreams and creating the Crystal Magic Psychic Center family, I want to say. Because really everybody who's here, and normally they're here for the long run. And if they're not, then that's that other person's choice, for the most part, or they're doing. So everybody that is part of the Crystal Magic Psychic Center family is really here to stay. The ones who are really aligned with what we want for the center as well. You guys can also find Wynter on the Crystal Magic Psychic Center website. Her bio's on there. You can book with her. And also you can find all of our other readers on there as well. So until next time, guys, stay grounded, stay open, and trust your path. And as always, work your magic, baby. Work it.